Take a moment to let the worries of the day pass and melt into the stillness. Feel yourself breathe. Notice your body's functions and how you do not need to consciously worry about the oxygen entering your lungs. You do not have to worry about the various chemical reactions that are sustaining your conscious life and fueling your vessel. The subconscious mind has it handled. Take a moment to be grateful for its magnificence. The universe has you taken care of for now. This channel's purpose is to assimilate words to carry a message that will aid in your conscious evolution. We wish to help you come back down to earth and focus on the skills necessary to navigate life freely, as a reflection of God, to enter the driver's seat of your own life, to help people live proactively instead of reactively. Now, let's begin today's lesson. In a world where appearances rule and facades hide intentions, there's one skill that can change everything: the ability to see beyond the surface, to read people in a way that leaves no room for deception. Today, it's more than just a skill, it's survival. In this day and age, where every interaction is a power play, learning to see the truth behind someone's words and actions is an armor. It's the key to success, to understanding, and to freedom from the webs people weave to trap the unwary. When you know how to read people, you become untouchable. You see things that others miss, understand things others ignore. While they take words at face value, you'll see through the words to the real motivations, the hidden agendas. You'll know who to trust and who to avoid, who to hold close, and who to keep at arm's length. This isn't about manipulation. It's about seeing the world for what it truly is. Today, we're going to delve into the unspoken language of people, the subtle signals, the micro-expressions, and the involuntary cues that give away what lies beneath. Welcome to the art of reading people. 1. Tell me more. The power of strategic listening. In a world where most people talk just to be heard, real power lies in the ability to listen strategically. Tell me more isn't just a phrase, it's an invitation, an open door for others to reveal what they're really thinking and feeling. When you look someone in the eye and say those words, you're inviting them to drop their guard, to share what they might usually keep hidden. Imagine being able to uncover people's truths without ever demanding it, without ever making them feel forced. That's the power of tell me more. People are so rarely truly listened to that when they sense someone actually cares, they open up. It's human nature. But don't mistake this for mindless listening. You're not just gathering information. You're gathering ammunition. You're observing how they react, what they emphasize, what they avoid. You're learning their fears, their ambitions, and most importantly, the cracks in their armor. The power of tell me more is in its simplicity. It's an approach that builds trust, that lures others into dropping their defenses. They feel safe, and in that feeling of safety, they reveal things they might never intend. This isn't just listening. It's a method to get people to show you their cards without even realizing it. 2. Observation. Actions. Speak louder than any words. They say actions speak louder than words, and this couldn't be truer when it comes to reading people. Most people are adept at controlling what they say, but few can control the small, unconscious actions that reveal who they really are. True character shows itself when people think no one's watching. It's easy to act with kindness and respect when there's an audience, but how does someone behave when the spotlight's off? Observe how they treat those who can offer them nothing. The waiter, the janitor, the stranger on the street. That's where their real nature comes out. Do they switch from polite to dismissive the moment they no longer need to impress? Are they kind only when there's something to gain? Small actions and shifts in behavior are clues to a person's values and self-respect. It's not about judging them. It's about seeing who they really are without the mask. Think of it as gathering data. Each interaction, each unguarded moment, is another piece of the puzzle. You're not just looking for good or bad behavior. You're looking for patterns, for signs of consistency or inconsistency. Once you learn to decode these actions, you'll know more about a person's true self than they'd ever willingly tell you. 3. Patterns don't lie. The past has a blueprint of character. People love to say they've changed, that they're different now, but the truth is simple. Patterns don't lie. A person's past is the blueprint to understanding their present. Every behavior, every decision is a piece of their history. Someone who's overly guarded, they've likely been betrayed. A person who lashes out at criticism, chances are they grew up in an environment where they were constantly judged. Understanding a person's past isn't about excusing their behavior. It's about deciphering it. You're not looking to understand every detail, but rather to see the patterns, to understand what has shaped them, and most importantly, to anticipate how those patterns will guide their future actions. When you understand a person's history, you gain insight into what they're likely to do next. This is the tool that allows you to move with intention. When you see the roots of someone's actions, you're not blindsided by their choices. You anticipate, you predict, and you navigate around their triggers. With this understanding, you become unshakable, knowing how to avoid potential conflicts and how to strengthen your alliances. 4. Tonal shifts. The voice betrays the truth. Words can be crafted, rehearsed, controlled, but tone is instinctual. A shift in tone is a glimpse into someone's inner world. It's the moment when the mask slips, even if just for a second. When someone's tone changes, when their voice drops, their words speed up, or they start to stutter, you're seeing a crack in the facade. Imagine you're in a conversation, and a colleague who is usually confident and assertive suddenly hesitates, their voice dropping to almost a whisper. That change is not accidental. It's a sign of uncertainty, of unease, of something they're holding back. Tonal shifts aren't just random. They're involuntary signals, the mind's way of revealing truth, even when the words conceal it. These shifts might be subtle, but once you start tuning in, they'll be impossible to ignore. You'll start noticing how discomfort sounds, how a lie feels, how confidence resonates. Knowing how to read these tonal changes makes you almost like a mind reader. You're listening not just to the words, but to the layers behind them, the emotions and intentions that others are blind to. The truth in unwatched moments, who they are, when they think no one's watching. The real insight into a person's character isn't found when they're on stage. It's found in those moments when they believe they're invisible. Watch how someone acts in those quiet, unnoticed moments. How do they behave when they think no one's watching? Are they respectful to their surroundings, mindful of others, or do they slip into selfish, careless habits? These unobserved behaviors are often the most revealing. They show the truth behind the performance. It's in these small moments, how they react to a setback, how they treat those they don't need, how they handle mundane tasks, that you see what lies at their core. You're not looking for grand gestures or displays of character. You're looking for those small, seemingly insignificant moments that tell you everything you need to know. When you learn to watch people in these unguarded moments, you're seeing them without the social armor, without the mask. It's like seeing someone's true reflection, and in that reflection, you find the truth of who they are. 6. Emotional reactions. The instincts behind the mask. Emotion is a powerful truth teller. While someone can mask their words, controlling their body language. Emotions are harder to hide. They are the raw, instinctual responses that seep through the cracks of any mask. Observe how someone reacts in moments of stress, joy, anger, or disappointment. Do they embrace change, or do they resist it with everything they have? Do they react with anger or with understanding when challenged? These reactions aren't just responses. They're indicators of core values, of deep-rooted fears and priorities. Emotional reactions cut through the facade and show what truly matters to someone. For example, someone who reacts defensively to constructive criticism might have unresolved insecurities. Someone who lights up at the prospect of a challenge is likely driven by a desire for growth and progress. Recognizing these emotional cues allows you to navigate around them. You understand what drives them, what pushes them, and what holds them back. When you know what motivates someone at this primal level, you know how to communicate with them in a way that resonates deeply, that gets to the heart of who they are. 7. Body language, the silent dialogue. The body speaks a language of its own, a language that cannot lie. Every gesture, every posture, every small movement carries meaning. Crossed arms, a subconscious barrier, a forward lean, an invitation to connect. People can control their words, but controlling body language is nearly impossible. Most don't even realize they're doing it. Body language is like a silent dialogue, an ongoing conversation that continues even when the words stop. A person who mirrors your gestures is aligning with you, whether they realize it or not. A person who leans away is distancing themselves, emotionally as well as physically. Pay attention, and you'll start to see layers of communication beyond what anyone is saying. Once you learn to interpret body language, you'll be able to read a room without a single word. You'll understand who's comfortable, who's holding back, who's pretending to be something they're not. This awareness gives you a distinct advantage, allowing you to respond not to the surface, but to the reality underneath.